Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm here again with Carmel, and this episode today is going to be about dealing with challenges in friendships. Girl, like how do you deal with it? How do you resolve issues to like come out on?
It's so unflattering on the top. My goodness. Anyway, I just want to put a disclaimer out there before they think I'm wearing this bag, that my grandma gave me. Oh my gosh.
Oh, you're so annoying. How do you deal with challenges in friendships? How do you go through? Because when everything is up and everything's great, I mean, everyone's cool, everyone's good. But when things are like bad and I'm thinking, you're there like, wait, what is going on here? Why don't I feel like we're friends or whatever? Like, yeah.
Do you know what? I feel like with every relationship, as much as we've heard it before and we say it again, communication is really key. Because if you don't communicate, even if you're getting on each other's nerves, if you don't somewhat communicate, it just, listen, from experience, if you don't communicate, you'll just leave it. And that's when friendships fizzle out. And you didn't try, they didn't try, it's done. That's whatever, it's done. But then some years later, you can rekindle. But communication is so important. Even if you're going to shy at each other, if you're going to argue, even if you're not going to understand each other's point of view, those open lines of communication are necessary, because when somebody's not communicating with you or not even giving you the time, it just shows that they don't care. So it's an indicator to whether somebody wants to work it out or whether somebody doesn't care.
Okay, we went through like a very challenging time in our friendship. Like, let's be honest. Like it was.
Why me though? I'm joking. We both played a fight. It's okay.
Wait, girl. Okay, so we went through like a challenging Can we find your tongue and speak? We went through a challenging time in our like friendship, and I felt like sometimes with me, when I want to talk about something then and there, I want to talk about it then and there, but the other person might not always want to. So then I come across as very confrontational, like, no, we've got to sort this out now, we've got to say how we feel now, da, 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 da. I remember there was one time when I was just like, yeah, but we need to talk. And you're like, not now, not today. I was like, shut up.
I'm the type of person that's like, let me
but then that really
my thoughts and then let's have a conversation.
But that's the thing, I had time to, I already gathered my thoughts from time ago. So in my mind I was like, we need to talk now. But then I guess you weren't ready to have that conversation. Which got me more angry and frustrated, thinking she didn't care. But I maybe have gathered my thoughts about that, but she hasn't had time to get, you know, whatever point she wants to like bring across yet. So that got me really, really angry and frustrated. And then communication, I think there was at one point we didn't talk for like months. About 4 months?
Yeah, about 4 months. Yeah.
We didn't talk for about 4 months, and it's like, and that's not normal because I know since the time we were in sixth form especially, we saw each other every day. We spoke every day. Even when we went to different unis, we still, on those BBM days and you moved to iPhone, and there was always communication. We've gone from talking all the time, from seeing each other all the time, to not talking for 4 months. And I hadn't seen her since it was my birthday. I hadn't seen you since my birthday. And then all of a sudden, I was coming out of work. Remember that day?
And I would like joke behind you. I was like, hey!
Like, I didn't know she had given me way. I didn't realise it was her car. And then she called me and she pulled up beside of me by the traffic lights. I was like, oh. And then I was just like, well, I haven't seen you in...
Stranger?
Literally, it was like, hello, stranger. But that's because we actually just weren't talking. Like, things were not good. It weren't good. Then I would like get really upset, and I felt like my friend isn't my friend. Ever since our friendship has been back on track, our conversations have gone from rubbish things that we'll talk about to more about like faith, you know, what would Jesus do, literally, how should we handle situations. And I remember talking to you about this, it was the day before your birthday actually, and I said, it's not that I'm not forgiving the person or people or whatever, or even myself, but it's hard for me to let go. It is hard because in my mind it's like, I'm not a robot. I'm not, you know that Men in Black thing when they used to erase your memory and stuff. I can't erase my memory, so then I remember things, and then I get scared. I start withdrawing myself. I start thinking, okay, let me not get too close, just in case history repeats itself. And it's not the right mindset to have. Don't get me wrong, but that's the honest truth. Like, I do get worried. I do get scared because I know that I've said this to you 100 times, but I don't have like any biological sisters. So anyone who I consider my friend, I call you my sister. So if things aren't right, or if I've hurt you, or if you hurt me, and we've drifted apart and whatever, that really does affect me. Because my brothers have always been like the boys of the house. So I'm just like, they're in my own room. I don't have that, you know, kind of relationship with because I don't have sisters.
Your own room.
I'm literally in my own room.
Rapunzel.
Like, I'm just there by myself. My brothers are all there playing FIFA. Kemi's on her one. Like, okay, I don't have anyone right here. All my friends have their sisters. So if things aren't right with me and my friendships, it really, really does affect me. And that goes with all, like, my close friends know who they are. So it really does bother me. It bothers me to the point that I'll be crying, I'll be so upset. I'll be like to my mum and my dad, I don't know, like, it's okay, you go and just enjoy yourself. Go and eat what you want, do what you want, go and travel.
Yeah.
Literally, that's what my dad kept on telling me when I was going through, like, well, a lot that we were dealing with and stuff. So, I don't know, to get to where we are now, like she said, it is about
patience, prayer,
Jesus.
and communication, and the number one, the Lord above, you know?
Patience, prayer, communication. But communication is so.
No,
you can sing in it.
And my throat, my truth, you know.
I'm not a singer, I'm a poet, there's a difference.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
But yeah, it was a difficult time. But I think, like Carmel said, it took for us to communicate. And some of the things that we communicated about, we didn't want to hear it. Like, let's be quite frank.
We actually weren't trying to hear each other. Like,
we rolling your eyes like,
there was some conversations that we knew that nothing has come of this. We just said a lot of things and we walked away.
We know that it was a tough time as individuals, because you were going through your own thing, I was going through my own thing. So now bringing that together into this melting pot of trying to deal with your own personal lives and trying to deal with your friendship, it was a lot at the time. So now, I don't know, like, what was the turning point for you as to where we got back on track?
I actually don't know.
I know.
It's so weird. I don't know. Listen, oh yeah? I see, the one thing is here, I just thought at that time, it was not only our relationship, but relationships around us, the dynamics were changing. We went through a lot. So it was literally trying to find your feet, find yourself, and then work on a relationship that doesn't seem like, at the point, it didn't seem like we were going to get back on track. So I feel like I really needed to take some time and I travelled. I went everywhere by myself. I just travelled
as well, yeah.
I just tried to...
But I didn't go everywhere, but I went a couple of places by myself. But I didn't go everywhere.
Find myself and just reconnect with God and just, you know... I think it was... Actually, yeah. Just before we got baptised.
That's what I'm about to say. The turning point for me was January 2017. So, I mean, from like, let's say from 2015 to 2017, things weren't good, right?
2 years,
it was 2 years of just lack of communication, misunderstandings, he said, she said, misinterpretations, just...
It did seem like arguments all the time. Every time we spoke, it was
literally every single time.
She would be thinking, I don't get her, and I'm just thinking, she doesn't get me. It was just like, what's the point? For 2 years.
Literally, that was how it was. Yeah. Then it was January.
My blood pressure.
No, actually, it was New Year's Eve, right? Because we go to the same church. I was sitting down, then it was my brother, then it was one of our other friends called Tia, and then, bearing in mind, Tia and Karma were sitting away from me and my brother, yeah? So, I mean...
Tia actually should be in this video as well, you know. Tia.
To be fair,
Then
Tia was like to her, oh, let's go sit over there. And I was just like, right, they're coming over. I said to my brother, like, they're coming. Like, they're coming. Like
the mean girls, you know.
Literally, I didn't know. Because I just remember, for like, it's been almost 2 years. We haven't been getting along. So what am I going to say to them? They're sitting beside me in church. You cannot be cussing no one in church or whatever, or having like thoughts of negativity. Like, it's just not... it's not right. So I'm just there like, oh my gosh, it comes to the silence. My brother's just like, are you okay? Are you sure? I'm like, I'm fine, but I mean, like, if you want to talk to him, we can talk. You know what I mean? So I said to my brother, like, should I approach her? And he was just like, if you feel like it, but do it before midnight, then you know you've gone into the new year trying your best or whatever it is. So I went over to her, I was just like, do you feel like we need to talk, or do you feel like we can move on from whatever it is? And she's like, we still need to talk, but not now. Literally, no. You know her passive tone that's just so like low, like she's always whispering. You can't even hear what she's saying.
I don't whisper.
You used to whisper.
Like, okay, I used to, but now I don't. I'm
yeah. Anyway, so
but
that was, and I just thought, okay, you know what? I went back to my seat. I said to my brother, I said it to her. I mean, she doesn't want to talk to me. I was like, okay, cool. So that was the 31st of December, New Year's. Then it was like now the 17th of January. I'm walking into church or whatever. I went to go pick up my badge because we signed up to baptism classes.
Yeah.
I said I need to get my life right with God because this is just everything just seems.
We didn't even know
terrible.
it was on the same course.
We didn't.
It was so strange.
I'm walking. All I hear is Kemi, and I'm just like, ah. So for about 10 weeks we went on to this baptism course at our church, and it was really good. Like, we learned a lot about the importance of baptism, Jesus leading by example, forgiveness, and, you know, having a new life in Christ and everything. So like, if it's about forgiveness and having a new life, new opportunities and new chances, this needs to be rectified or whatever. Things need to be resolved. So we went to Starbucks after church.
Coffee shops be out here saving lives, you know.
We were there for a couple of hours talking. I wouldn't say everything got resolved, but I will say the communication was better. There was no, all that, like, we were arguing.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were shouting or talking really loud. But you don't get it, you don't understand. But what's the problem? What's the issue? It wasn't like that. It was just, this is where I am now. This was where I was on both sides. And we don't want to be that person anymore. So let's move forward. That was my turning point in my head for that.
Yeah.
So obviously the road hasn't been smooth sailing or whatever since then. Like, we've had hiccups and whatever, but like you said, every relationship, no matter who, whether it's with your friend, your family, your partner, it's always gonna be there will always be something.
And like I say, I feel like friendships and your relationship with your family, your siblings, are really like a foundation to how you will be like with your own family, how you will be like with your spouse. So if you can't forgive your friends, or you can't forgive your family, the same characteristics or the things that you're doing will extend, hopefully not, but usually do extend to the relationships that you create outside of that. So I feel like we have to have that, you know, follow the model of Christ and forgive and love on each other. I think a lot of things will be solved, you know, if we just love each other. But obviously it doesn't go like that, because some people are headache.
And it's not going to happen overnight, please. Like we both said,
2 years.
2 years of...
I mean, that's a toddler, innit? 2 toddler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a toddler.
We went through that terrible 2 stage, I guess. Yeah, for 2 years, things were not great, let's be quite frank. It's not always that you should play the victim or have like a pity party for yourself. Cause I know there were times where I just like, my friends aren't my friends, and I'll be like, oh, I'm the victim, playing the pity party. I know there were times where I did definitely do that. It doesn't help you in any way, shape or form. Even if you don't agree with what the person is saying or where they're coming from, just listen. Let there be a level of understanding. Like, you said what you said. I said what I said. Oh, I love Nene Leaks for that. I said what I said, you said what you said. We can't go back to that now, but what are we doing from here to move forward? Where do we go from here? And I think that's the big question you need to ask yourself when you're like reflecting or reevaluating your friendships or whatever type of relationship. Where do you go from here? Like, what do you want to get out of this? I'm glad things are better, much better between us. Like, I mean, 2 years ago, I didn't think she'd be sitting here. Like, I'll be honest. Be careful who you vent to as well. Because when, like I said, I've been very frank and upfront with her as to how I felt. Or be careful what you say, how you say it, how it could be misinterpreted. And not everything needs to be vented as well. So
and be careful how you say it as well, because not everybody's has redemptive eyes, you know, like not everyone's going to be like, I don't want to accept them again after everything they've put you through. So we need to be careful the, you know, the brushing which we paint people as well.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. When you're dealing with challenges in your friendships, make sure you're communicating. Make sure there's a level of understanding, like we said. Be careful who you vent to. Be careful how you vent, like what you say, and be forgiving. If Jesus forgave us, who are we not to forgive? I've been watching Grace Like a Flood by Pastor Mike Todd of Transformation Church. And he literally just said, I mean...
The same when I done the Relationship Goals series, just letting you know, just because you didn't know, but you're gone.
He's actually a really good pastor. But who are we not to be forgiving? So we're so quick to condemn people and say, but you did this, you did that. But imagine if Jesus literally every single time... I mean, we'll be here forever if he put in that every single one of my mistakes.
Listen.
I'm just saying. We hope you guys can take something away from this. We hope you learn from our mistakes to make sure you do better if you ever go through anything like that. And yeah, cherish those people who are around you, because not, you know, tomorrow's not promised. Life is short. A lot of us have experienced loss of whether extended family or immediate family, and you just don't want to, you don't want anyone to go to the grave thinking you're not forgiving or you haven't made up or have a loving heart. There's no need for that. And like somebody told me some wise words: cherish me while I'm here, and don't wait until I'm gone to do GoFundMe. So it's just how it goes. Bye. Adios.